It's hi fashionistas, welcome to yet another tutorial, and today I am going to be showing you how to make this beautiful Gigot sleeve. And to get this tutorial you need to really pay attention and also take notes. This way this is going to be really easy and simple for you, and let's just jump right into the tutorial. To get this tutorial started, you would need your basic sleeve pattern, and here is mine. If you don't know how to draft a basic sleeve pattern, do check the description box below or also the comment section, and I would put the link for the tutorial on how to make your basic sleeve pattern on the description box or in the comment section. Right now, I am going to be taking my shoulder to my elbow. Now I don't want my sleeve to stop at my elbow because I really don't like it around my elbow. I would go 1 inch before my elbow line. So if you want yours to be at your elbow, it's okay, it's also fine. So mine from my shoulder to elbow is 12 inches. So that is the mark I just placed right here. And I am going to cut this demarcation out. Now I have my sleeves into two. Now this part is going to be for the jiggle, and this part is going to be for my sleeve to wrist, from my elbow to wrist. So right now I'm going to go on and cut this on my fabric, and I'm going to cut two on my fabric for my right and left arm. Now as you can see, I have cut out the lace on my fabric, and I left seam allowance at the top for joining to the elbow. Now here is how you get the armhole radius you're going to be working with. My armhole circumference is 17, and I'm going to add 1 inch for seam allowance, and that will be 18. And I'm going to divide that by 6.28, which is the formula for getting the radius of a fillet, of any fillet. So when I divide that, it gives me 2.8, which I would approximate to 3, and that is what I am going to use as my armhole radius. That means 3 inches is going to be my armhole radius. Now let's say you want pleats around your armhole area. Here is how you go about it. My armhole circumference is 18 inches, and I'm going to times this by 2. I'm going to multiply it by 2, and this in total would give me 36 inches. And this 36 inches will be divided by 6.28, which is the formula for fillet. And once I divide this is going to give me 5.8, which I'm going to approximate to 6 inches. So now if you want pleats or gathers at the armhole area, at the shoulder joining, you need to add, this is how to go about it. So instead of using 3, which is the first calculation we did earlier on, that one will give you your exact armhole circumference when you open up your fillet, but this one is going to give you more fabrics to pleat. So you decide what you want, but I am going to go for the first one because I don't want pleats. So now that you have gotten your armhole radius sorted, the next thing to worry about now is how to get the amount of fabric to work with, and here is how to go about that. Now, shoulder to elbow, which I said is 12 inches, plus my armhole radius, which I said is 3 inches. Now I am going to plus this together, and this in total would give me 15 inches. Now I am going to add 6 inches, and this 6 inches extra is going to be for the fold over, and this is the fold over I am talking about. You just need extra fabric, like maybe 3 inches, 4, 5, you can even use 8 or 10 inches depending on how much fabric you have. And When I plus this together, it gives me 21. Now the amount of fabric I'm going to be using is going to be 42, which is 21 plus 21, and that would be 42. Now the width of my fabric is 42 inches, just like we just calculated. And the length of my fabric is by 60. So now here is how I am going to fold my fabric. Now I am going to fold my fabric over like this, and I am going to fold again over like this. Making this jiggle sleeve is almost the same as making a circle sleeve. If you have seen the tutorial, you would know what I am talking about. Once I have my fabric folded the way I want, the next thing I am going to do is to take this same 21 inches measurement. I am going to cut this 21 inches right now on my fabric. Now I am going to place my tape rule like this, and I'm going to take that 21 inches all the way around. And once I am done taking this measurement, I am going to cut this out. Now I would open up this circle. I would open up my flail like this. Now the next thing you're going to do is to take 3.5 inches from the edge of your pattern like this. For children you can use 2.5, but for adults you can use 3.5, and this works for anybody. Next thing I'm going to do right now is to take this other end of the flail to meet the 3.5 mark, and now I am going to fold this over in another half. Now the reason why this is done this way is so that at the end of the day, once you're done making your sleeve, one side won't be high and the other side won't be low. Now I am going to take my armhole radius, which I said is 3 inches, because I don't want pleats in mine. I already showed you how to get pleats for the armhole if that is what you want. Now you can just go on and take your armhole radius. Now another thing you need to know is if 6 inches, which is the radius for the gathers, if that is what you want to use, you need to make sure that you have added it to the calculation of the length of your fabric. If not, it is going to affect the length of the fabric you're working with. In other words, do replace everywhere I use 3 inches radius, replace it with your pleating radius, and this way you won't have any issues with the length or any other thing. Now I would cut this out. Now I would make a notch at this end. At this very fold, make a notch. This way, when you open up your fabric, you would know where the notches are. Now, when you open up your fabric, you would notice that here is smaller and here is wider. As you can see, here is wider and here is smaller. Now this smaller part stays underneath the armhole, and while this part stays at the shoulder, the bigger part stays at the shoulder part. Now I am going to fold this over like this, and I'm going to cut that smaller part, the one that stays underneath the armhole. I am going to cut that part open. Now I am going to place my lace good size together with my fabric, and I'm going to go on and pleat and sew. And now as you can see, I am done sewing, and as you can see, we are almost getting there. This is almost done. Now, just because I want to show you guys the finished look, I am going to be using this dress of mine that I have. So as you can see, the side seams are open. So now I would place my sleeve good size together to my fabric, and I'm going to attach that shoulder part to my sleeve and I will stitch. Now once I am done stitching, I will fold over the side seam of my dress and also the side seam of my sleeve, and I am going to stitch from my dress to my sleeve wrist all the way and close up the side seams. And once you're done, you should have this. And this is the finished look, guys. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and do subscribe for more exciting DIYs, and hope to see you in more videos. Stay cool, stay good. Bye. See you in my next tutorial.
It's been a roller coaster, but you stayed. And now I'm taking over for the day. 'Cause I can be what you wanna be.